Quick disclaimer before we start, there are going to be spoilers in this episode, obviously with the title. If you haven't seen Ahsoka episode 5, I highly recommend you go watch that before watching this video. But let's get started. Like many other viewers, I sat down and watched episode 5 of Ahsoka, and I didn't really know what to expect. I know we saw Anakin last episode, so it was like, okay, what's going to happen now? I did not expect flashbacks to the Clone Wars or anything like that. Kind of got me happy and excited. It made me feel like a kid again. We haven't gotten Clone Wars content, live action that is, in a while, but it got me thinking of what I could do in Lego form. So I tried 3 scenarios out, and let me know what you think. A lot of this was filmed in their like studio with all the screens and stuff. It was just sandy on the floor, and you know, there was like ATTEs and gunships in the background with like a lot of fog, which I understand why they did it from a budgetary perspective, and plus it is like a flashback or kind of like dream sequence, so it makes sense. There's just not a lot of detail to work with, so I kind of had to use my imagination and some camera tricks. Now these aren't going to be like crazy builds or anything like that. I'm just going to try and recreate some scenes in camera. For the first mock, we're going to start on the first flashback, which is their first mission together. I should say. So I'm starting off by just laying down some tan tiles and tan plates. Again, a very basic, but I'm trying to add as much texture as possible to this. Wanted to kind of create like a circle of studs in the center, because I know that's where a lot of the action's going to be, primarily where Ahsoka and the clones and Anakin are going to be. I added a little tree in the background because I do remember seeing that in there, and then just thrown in the gunship, as well as the ATTE. And this one is customized to be Clone Wars style ATTE. And I threw in this guy because we see some 501st troopers in there. And then Anakin and Ahsoka in just the regular Clone Wars outfit. I didn't have the maroon outfit. And then this olive green one. This came out pretty good. Some of the shots that I got were interesting, but not really to the effect that I wanted. It was really hard to create haze in the room. I tried some practically, and then I tried some digitally. This shot came out pretty good. I like the gunship in the background, but I do like this shot a lot. The fog here was done, you know, post-production and stuff like that, but I love the glow behind the ATTE. It looks really, really awesome. Next is going to be a scene where you have a touching moment between Ahsoka and a clone trooper, and you can see she's just hurting inside because she has to make decisions that affect so many lives. And it was a really awesome dynamic to see kind of her struggling with that, and how Anakin's kind of just like, it is what it is. So for this, I started off with making some of these, I don't know what to call them, but floating trays. And then of course some crates. Gotta make crates, of course. I have mine that I have designed in previous videos, which, you know, if you want just instructions, it'll be in the link below. But I also just tried these out, just regular cubes, which turned out pretty cool. Definitely wanted to make sure that they stacked and stayed like that, and I was able to kind of add them here and there, and it really filled out the open space. But right now I'm just placing Ahsoka and a clone trooper, the scene where she puts her hand on top of the clone trooper, just recognizing that, you know, they are hurt, and you know, she has strong feelings about it and stuff like that. But I saw there were a lot of them in the show, so I decided to make a whole bunch of them. Their faces were covered up, but I ended up just not covering them up with anything like that. Now just adding the crates here and there. And just adding some troopers kind of standing around, and other allied forces that I saw in there. And then adding in Captain Rex. We did see phase 1 version of him in the background talking with Anakin and some other clone troopers and stuff. But have them all grouped up, and this is kind of where Anakin looks over and sees Ahsoka struggling right now. And overall, I think it came out all right. Again, very basic, but let's see if we can change it up. Obviously with Ahsoka there, hand on the clone. But I also wanted to try that scene where Anakin is leaving and it flashes and you see Darth Vader and it flashes back to Anakin. I thought that was a really cool thing. They did it a couple times in the episode, but yeah, I just wanted to try my hand at it for sure. And just to show you the lighting setup that I have going on, obviously I have the scene in Lego in front there. I have a diffuser in front. It's right up against the light, so it's not doing too much. And then I have one on top, which is the ambient light, and then the one on bottom is kind of set to a flickering mode, kind of replicating like an explosion or something like that in a warmer color. And for the last one, of course, Siege of Mandalore. For the Siege of Mandalore, we saw a bunch of clones, including the 501st Clone Trooper here, as well as a 332nd Ahsoka Trooper, P2 Rex for a brief moment, Gar Saxon, Death Trooper, Ahsoka, and Anakin with his yellow eyes. Start off with the tiles and stuff like that. I tried to be sporadic with it, but I ended up running out of gray tiles, of course. Added some structures here and there as rubble, but then I added in the wrecked gunship that was in the background. Looked really cool. Placing the last figure in here, and we have our scene. So this first scene is where Rex kind of turns to Ahsoka and says, "Good job, General," and then kind of goes off into battle. And then that's when Anakin comes in and says, "Oh, I don't remember this," and all that stuff. And then ends up trying to teach her another lesson and ends up going into like dark side Anakin. I think out of all of these mocks and the lighting I did for it, I'm really liking this one the most. It just feels really true to the scene and it looks great. I had a lot of fun making these. I kind of pumped this out really quickly, so if it was rushed, I'm sorry. I'm leaving for the weekend and I really wanted to get a video out for you guys. I'm very tired. It is like midnight right now. But I really do hope that you enjoyed this episode, and leave a like if you want to see more videos like this in the future. I have a bunch of projects going on right now. That's kind of why I'm standing up and you're not seeing the table or anything like that. I have my Camino mock built and everything like that, so I gotta film that for you guys. That'll come out next week, and then I also have another video that I'm planning on doing. So just a lot of projects in the works. I'm really excited to get it out to you, so thank you for your patience, and I hope you enjoyed the video. But until next time, I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.